Welcome. In this lecture, we would focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat, some of the important indicators which have been talked. So, the first is the GI, the geographical indicator. Now, this was through an American company where the patent of basmati rice started, and this started under the Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999 and 2013. And this registry of India was set up initially in Chennai. So, what is the GI tag? According to Article 22 of the TRIPS, it is an indication where to identify a good which is originating in a territory or of a region or a locality with given quality, reputation, and good characteristics. So it is different from trademark. Trademark is assigned to the enterprise that gets its exclusive right. GI is not a property right. Very, very important, and it allows every producer in the region to use the rights of the GI. So there are nearly 55,000 protected GIs as of now. Maximum of those are in Germany, followed by China and Hungary. India has around 361 of those, and all of those in India and China are protected through the national system. GIs related to wine and Sprite have been most common ones across the global ones, followed by the agricultural product. Very, very important, the difference between trademark and GI. GI is not a property right. In India, the first one was the Darjeeling tea. The three varieties, black, green, and white, got the GI tag. And then we have various items. Some of those are under handicrafts, agriculture, food stuff, foreign food stuffs, and natural goods. Karnataka has highest number of GI tags in India. Now this initiatives, there have been the GrapeNet, which is by EBDA, Ministry of Commerce, HortiNet, which is for the crops, which is mainly the pomegranate, grapes, mango, vegetables, TraceNet, which is reporting the forward and the backward tracing and maintains the related data. There are other platforms, for example, Tagline, which is invaluable treasure for incredible India. GI store was launched, which is the first store is Cashew Export Promotion Council at Goa Airport. We have the foreign export policy where we focus on the export values under two initiatives. One is the district export hubs, and the twice second amendment, which aims to bring in boost to the indigenous toys. Similarly, we are focusing on rural GI tag products to urban markets. So one district, one product has brought definite changes. So it is a concept in Japan which is under the name of OVOP, and in Thailand OTOP. We have this as ODOP. So definitely there are similar programs across the world to bring in more training capacities for PSU, public sector undertaking. There are as of now 256 operational central public sector undertakings which have nearly 10 lakh people. 10 Maharatna companies are there. NTPC, ONGC, BPCL are some of those. There are 42 mini Ratna companies which have been in profit for 3 years and have a profit of more than 30 crores in the next 3 years. 14 Navratna companies which can invest up to 1000 crores on a single project of 15% of their net worth without government approval. So HAL, NALCO, MTNL, BAIL are such examples. So these provide the status in the various forms, and government has set up an integrated government online training portal. We also have the various organizations which have been working forwarded for it. For example, an ONGC Training Institute for Drilling Technology, Geodata Processing has been established. There are Center of Excellence which have been established. PSUs like BAIL have been focusing on training programs. Geographical clusters have been developed. Thematic clusters have also been brought into account. So bringing in ethical and moral values are also important. The next is Farm to Fork. So Farm to Fork is a value chain which includes production, post-harvest and processing, distribution, and finally the consumption platform. 85% in India are small and marginal farmers. Their literacy levels are significantly low. So to bring farm to fork is an important concept. Then we have the production phase. There are 6 categories under which the farm productivity is taken into account: the quality, the technology, land fragmentation, irrigation, electricity, farm credit, and crop insurance. All of those important. And the schemes, for example, the soil health management, the oil seed mission, the Krishi Sinchai Yojana for irrigation, so Kisan Suvidha portal for scientific help to the farmers. The programs for irrigation like per drop more crop, organic farming, boosting organic farming, bringing in 100% organic state like Sikkim, post-harvest schemes. For example, the Sampada Yojana, which is an umbrella program where we have the mega food parks, integrated cold chain, infrastructure for agro industries are important. Developing agri infrastructure funds for next 10 years. The Halwai committee talks about India's losses on the various post-harvest losses. So how there are the various phases. These are mainly the primary phase, storage phase, processing and marketing phases. Dehusking, deseeding, peeling and processing are some of the primary processes. Then we have the decay, disease and pest control. Focusing on food processing is important. Now food processing is the fifth in our country in terms of production, consumption and exports. Har Ghar Jal under the Jal Jeevan Mission is another important scheme started in 2019 to provide tapped water supply to each and every rural household and potable water supply on a regular long-term basis. This has been brought under the Water Control Administration of the 73rd Amendment. Pani Panchayats have been formed across the villages. Then we have Village Water and Sanitation Committee focusing on water, sanitation and hygiene in the village. The WASH scheme has been created. Empowering women, developing children's health, bringing in more transparency through the online portal. E-Jal Shakti Yojana has been established. Developing self-reliance in energy sector. This has been brought through various schemes under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. We have also focused on National Hydrogen Mission. We have 5I scheme, which is intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure and innovation. Very, very important. Renewable sources of energy have been brought. Rooftop energy, solar energy, generating power from solar energy, from biogas programs. Hydrogen mission, as we said, for greener environment. On hydrogen as a fuel, we have covered a separate lecture. Very, very important. And it is expected that 25% of the world's energy needs in India would be met through this, and India can become a $10 trillion economy. Bringing in more sustainable development goals and meeting the targets of the sustainable goals. So here are the 17 sustainable development goals, the areas of their focus. For example, the first one focuses on poverty line, the second one focuses on hunger. So those are the some important sustainable development goals that you need to remember. Again, sustainable development goals are important. We have covered a separate lecture where we have discussed about those in detail. Reviving the MSMEs is important. Again, in the Kurukshetra this month, we have seen how MSMEs are important sector, and reviving those, bringing in specifically toy industries in the rural area. 20% of the MSMEs fall in the rural area, and they contribute significantly in the GDP. 15% in agriculture, 31% in manufacturing and 54% in service sector are from MSMEs. Numerous people, around 11 crore people, are involved with the MSMEs, and which basically of the 11 crore, you have nearly 6 crore in MSMEs, which is 40% of population in MSMEs. There are various production linked incentive schemes which are meant for creating various funds. Startup India Fund is important. Direct to customer model is very, very important. It's a vertical business model which does not have any intermediaries, so you sell directly to the customers itself, and therefore it is an interesting model. Now, since you are selling directly to the customer, the benefit reaches directly to the customer and you are well aware about it. Now, the most important thing is we have various platforms which can actually have better examples of direct to customer model. For example, Vahadam Teas. Now, this was a startup which started in 2014. The family business now get digitized, and from Darjeeling it is now across the globe. We have also seen the advantages. So better consumer insight has been brought, better business experimentations can be done, more easy flow can be brought through digital payments, and mass movement of the customer is now seen through direct to customer model. Women entrepreneurship similarly is an important example. So far in India, only 14% are women entrepreneurs. We have various schemes like target specific schemes, women entrepreneurship platform, Mudra Yojana, Stree Shakti loan. These would help women grow as entrepreneurs, and definitely providing financial aid, establishing institutes which provides good quality training, minimizing the role of documentation, and recharging the economy specifically hit by the pandemic. We have seen that to counter this, India has to have a good medical infrastructure and also focus more on self-reliant India. Vocal for local are some of the important areas that we must focus on. So the Atmanirbhar package has five different parts, which mainly focuses on businesses, poor, agriculture, horizons of growth, and government reforms and enablers, providing support to non-banking financial institutions, MSMEs, bringing in more ease of doing business. Insolvency and bankruptcy courts needs to be taken into consideration. Then is the police reforms. In ancient period, under the Kautilya Arthashastra, we have seen a specialized branch which deals with detection of crime and offense. We also have seen indigenous police system was based on land tenure. During the medieval period, Sultan was the head, followed by Faujdar for the crime, Kotwal for the police, and Chaukidar at the village level. During the colonial period, we had criminal courts under Warren Hastings in 1772. Cornwallis brought the police administration from the zamindars to the separate police force. And then after 1857, we have military getting expensive, so a new separate police force was conceptualized, and Police Act was passed in 1861. Here military was eliminated and police trust was established. Now there were civil police and inspector general at the provisional level, superintendent at a village level. Then there were provisional civil services created in 1892. In 1902, there were various commissions which were introduced for functioning of police systems under Lord Curzon. Indians were allowed to enter the higher ranks of police under 1920, and in 24 Lee Commission, recruitment was now in favor of Indians. So the history of police, not only in the North India but in the Madras presidency, we have Kavalkars who were the state appointees, Taliyars were responsible at the village level, and under the Madras Police Act, unarmed police from the armed police sections were separated. There was no interchange of personnel below the inspectorate. There were three levels of supervision. First was at the superintendent level, supervision at the civil administration. The next was the European officers, and the third was the hierarchy between the superintendents. Chief secretary was at a main force. Then we have a special police force which was introduced. Now there were in the Madras presidency, it was the Malabar special force and the East Coast special force. Now we have the paramilitary forces. Police reforms, especially the police and public order, are two subjects which fall under state subject. They have been implemented with special central assistance. The idea is to boost the ability to bring in change, and a national policy and action plan has been devised. Amrit 2 is the scheme which talks about urban rejuvenation, tapped water connection, and bringing in better rainwater harvesting options. Gati Shakti is intended to bring and develop the infrastructure. Mitra Park has been developed as special vehicles by the state and government of India on a PPP model with 5F, which is farmer to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion, fashion to foreign, and these would have core and support infrastructure which would be developed. Biotechnology park has been established in Kiming area in Arunachal Pradesh. There are various orchidariums in the Kiming. Banana fiber aroma units are some of the units which have been planned as a part of bioresource and sustainable development, specifically for the tribals in the northeast. So that was some of the important topics that we have covered under Atmanirbhar Bharat under the Yojana December edition. We cover Yojana and Kurukshetra on a monthly basis. If you have any questions or doubts, feel free to connect back to us. Wish you very good luck for your upcoming examination. For the handouts, follow the links below. Wish you good luck.